vinyl community, enthusiasts, lovers of all things vinyl. Welcome back to my channel here, guys. And today, as you can see very easily here, I have in front of me the Beatles White Album. And I decided to open it up here because honestly, when you close it like this and try to show this off to people, it's really hard to see on the camera, even the inscription of the Beatles right there. So I thought, let's give this a little bit more of an actual something to look at instead of just what appeared on camera, just be a white face of a vinyl album record. So basically, today's video, I want to talk to you guys about, I saw a gentleman, some of you may know him. If you don't know this channel, I have in the description below. His channel is called Vinyl Rewind. He calls himself the Vinyl Geek, and very high production, really awesome channel. If you've never seen it, you're in for a treat. So I'll have that at the bottom of the description for you guys to look at. But basically, I wanted to kind of just do the same thing that he did. Not so much just to be like, oh, that's a great idea, I'm just going to copy that, but just to share my idea of what it would be like if this album was only a single LP. As we all know, those of us that do own this great album from the Beatles in their catalog, that it is a 2 LP album full of tons and tons of great memorable songs, but also songs that are a little bit, shall we say, a little bit out there. Revolution number 9, hello. But anyway, there's a lot of great songs on this album, and I kind of thought about it last night, and I came up with a list here of actual songs that I think that if it was an album that just came out today, what I would think would be actually on it, and the things that I chose for this, or the songs I chose for this single LP, so to speak, if this existed. I feel like the songs that I chose kind of make it sound more like an actual, shall we say, if it, like I just said, like it just came out today, like it's more of a modern take of the song selection. It's more, what I would say would be more acceptable, like if a 16-year-old kid was going to pick up an album from a band called the Beatles that was in the year 2018. I think this list, they would listen to this album, and I think they would be pretty impressed. There's still a couple songs on each side that kind of still show the fun and the kookiness that the Beatles are known for, but this is what my take is on this, and anybody else in the vinyl community that would like to do this as well, I would challenge you guys to come up with your own list of what you would think would be on a one LP version of the White Album. So let's just go ahead and get into this right here. I think personally that the Beatles got it right with the actual original album, the 2 LP album, by having Back in the USSR as their first song to lead the actual album off, and I still think that is a great and fantastic song to start the album off with. There's tons of energy. You can tell they're having a lot of fun making this song, and it just has a very great rock and roll sound, and I think that there's a reason why this song appeals to generation after generation, and this is just a great opener. So I was like, you know what, let's not touch anything there, let's just leave Back in the USSR as the first song. And then followed after that, on side 1, I thought, if it was a little more what I called, again, the modern take on what this would be if it was only a 1 LP album, is I thought that after Back in the USSR, Helter Skelter would actually be a great second song to do right after Back in the USSR. I just feel like that song, it's always one of those songs that's in your face, and just really, it's just one of the songs that I heard one of the people in the vinyl community at one point say that this was a song that is considered, or maybe I read it online, I can't remember, it was somebody in the vinyl community or online, but somebody said that it sounded, some people consider Helter Skelter to be a song that was kind of the what could end up being hard rock, which I agree with that. It definitely has some harder elements to it than what the Beatles were really known for, but it's a rockin' song, and I think that is a great song to put as number 2 on my list. The third song on this make-believe record that we're doing here is Revolution number 1. I thought this would be a great song, personally, that you know, you just came off of two really energized songs, and then of course we know that there was another version of the Revolution that was actually made. The version that's actually on the White Album is the one that's a little bit more medium tempoed. And I thought, again, if this is more of a modernized version of the album, a lot of times we find in a lot of albums, especially rock albums, you've got two tracks that open up that are really, again, energized, and then right after that, they may go with the approach of a really slow song, or they may just kind of tone it down just a little bit with a medium tempo song. And, excuse me, that's what I thought that would happen here with this track listing. The next song on side one here, I think, you know, this was kind of a toss-up because you know, it's a slower song, but I wanted to kind of decide on how do I, as I get closer, because what I did is I tried to do 6 songs on each side, and so I kind of had a toss-up between, there's 2 songs on this side that I thought would work great, but I kind of did it in this order. I did Dear Prudence, which is one of my all-time favorite songs on this album. It's just a great song sung by John Lennon, and it's just got that psychedelic sound to it that I just really enjoy. And I one day want to learn this song on the guitar. It's a great song, and one that I could listen to over and over again. But I thought that after Revolution #1, Dear Prudence would be a great kind of slower tempo song to go into. But then as a curveball to throw at everybody, because everybody would be like, oh, okay, you know, this is nice. We've got some fast songs, we've got a medium tempo song, this Dear Prudence song. Okay, I dig this. This is a great sounding slower song, not necessarily quite a ballad, but you know, just a really nice transition, I think, from Revolution #1. And then I just wanted to throw a wrench in the thing, because I think the Beatles would have done this, thrown a wrench in the mix. I mean, this whole album, you get kind of used to how the tempo of the tracks are going, and then all of a sudden they throw in a song like Rocky Raccoon, which is kind of one of those, it's not the weirdest song they've ever created, but it is a very kooky song that tells a really, actually really cool story, and I know a lot of you that know this song. And I just thought, you know, that'd be kind of I think especially, I'm trying to think in the mind of somebody that's maybe 16, 17, 18 years old, and they're just like listening, and all of a sudden it's just like, Rocky Raccoon, and you know, just like, oh, what is this? And I think some people would be like, thrown off by that, and you know, I think they would get, as they listen to the whole album, they probably would eventually like that song a lot, but I think that would throw some people off. And then basically just kind of just, you know, you throw that wrench in the whole mix, and then you have the song Julia, which is a beautiful acoustic song, and that is what I think would end side #1, side A. And then I thought, as far as side 2, things would just kick off again. It's kind of like we went kind of down the whole thing of going real fast, in your face songs, and then medium tempoed, slow, and then that Rocky Raccoon wrench in the mix there, and then Julia, and then we just pick things right back up with Birthday. I know that I think the Vinyl Rewind channel, the Vinyl Geek, I think he didn't put this song in. I can't remember why he did not have it in his list, but I decided on my list, I was like, you know what, let's just put the energy back up and let's do Birthday. But after that, I thought, you know, let's just throw another, not real like curveball, so to speak, but let's just, you know, that's a rock song, but then let's just go straight into blues, and that's the song Year Blues. And I feel like that song, really, they're trying to pay homage to the rock and roll heroes of the day, which it really has a, I would almost think that they were trying to pay homage to Elvis Presley. It kind of has that kind of sound to it, which that's a great song on the album as well, Year Blues. Then after that, I just thought, you know, again, it's the Beatles, for crying out loud. They're going to do silly songs, so I left the song at #3 as Oobla-dee, Oobla-da. You know, you can't get much more sillier than that, and I thought that was a great choice to, again, kind of just mix things up again. You know, it's just kind of like, okay, got Birthday, that song rocks, and then Year of Blues, okay, that's a real nice bluesy song, and then all of a sudden it's just like, another one, okay. So I thought that would be kind of interesting. But after that, then, again, things just start to slow down. more and more here, which I picked Mother Nature's Son. Again, a really great acoustic track, great harmonies on the song, on that track. And then after that, I was just like, you can't leave While My Guitar Gently Weeps out of this listing. I kind of toyed with this being the last track of my selection on an album, on a one-song LP, but I was like, no, I think that there's lots of songs that could be the last song, but While My Guitar Gently Weeps, I feel like that's kind of like just one more last hurrah. It's kind of a medium tempoed song, but it's just got so much feeling and so much vibe to it. I was just like, you got to have that song in there, and I thought that would be a really great song to just kind of bring things up just a little bit again before the album would end. And of course, that's one of the most beloved tracks by George Harrison, and amazing guitar work on that song, and just one of the best tracks ever written by George Harrison. And the last track, I thought it was very fitting to have the song Blackbird. And this, by far, as far as if you talk about the Beatles, but then you talk about the solo work and everything, and I haven't checked out every single one of the Beatles solo projects. I only have a few of them in my collection. More Paul McCartney, though, and this is an excellent work of Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney still today in his live shows plays Blackbird, and so it's just one of those songs that you just sit down. It has a great message to it, and if you know the meaning behind the message, and I just thought, as far as that goes, again, thinking about a modern day take on what it would be for this album, I really feel like Blackbird would be an amazing song to end the album. It's just one of those songs that just leaves you with a really good feeling, and it's just one of my favorite songs that the Beatles have on this record. And so that's basically it. I hope that this video was really enjoyable for you guys. Again, it's a little different of a video. It's not me showing off just a record or a couple different records, which I will be doing another one of those very soon. But I would encourage anyone in the vinyl community that does see this video, you make your own list as well and reply to this video, and let's just have some fun with this, and just imagine what it would be like if the White Album did not have 2 LPs. One thing that was really interesting that I'll mention real fast is that the other video that I watched, the Vinyl Rewind video, he pulled up some news clippings of information from online that said that a couple of the Beatles they wished that the album was just a single LP, and that they would have just brought out two different albums. And that's kind of interesting that the actual artists that created that album thought it should be that way as well. So that's really cool, and maybe that's where that idea stemmed from, to actually talk about this. So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and more videos coming very soon, again, finally, to talk about new vinyl that I have been collecting. And so just remember, guys, keep flipping that wax, and remember that vinyl collecting is just that. It is collecting, but it is a lifestyle, everyone. So we will see you guys next time, and I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day and week, and we'll see you soon.